So I'm glad to clear this up, at least from my perspective. None of us really know the status of a RHONY reunion today.
Back at it again with another episode of Housewives Nightcap. And this week we are taking you to the Big Apple following their season finale last night with new housewife, Eboni K. Williams.
Welcome.
Hey, ladies. Hey.
We loved last night's episode. It was so silly. Harry Dubin, I mean the nipple tassels, all of it. Oh.
It was vintage RHONY fun and chaos. Yeah, the crystal booby party was a lot of fun. I actually still cannot believe I did that. But it was worth it. And now I've joined the club. I too have kissed Harry Dubin for much worse. Yes.
I didn't even.
Terrible.
Oh my God, Harry Dubin. He needs to retire. It's time.
Beyond, ladies.
Eboni, you really made a splash in your first season. You've had one hell of a first season. So tell us from you how you describe this experience for you.
You know, I woke up this morning, after the season finale, just feeling happy, like really blessed. I think I'm proud of myself, proud of all of my castmates and the crew. Like, we put together a full season, 17 episodes, in the peak of a global pandemic, in the most shut down city in the world. New York was not happening during that part. And in the wake of, the most robust and much needed racial reconciliation moment in a generation, there was a lot going on, and we did it, we did it. We finished what we started. And I think, as everyone saw in the finale episode, we really ended in this wonderful place as a group. And it might have taken a little longer than some viewers would have liked for us to get there. But as I promised on my Instagram around episode 3, if you locked into this season with us and you go through the hard stuff, we will get to the gold. And I think the finale was the gold.
The finale was totally the gold. And I loved at the end, it had your little montage at the end, and you were like, look, I could have given up. I could have settled. I didn't. I was authentically myself this entire season, which is hard for newcomers.
Yes.
For you, why did you want to be your authentic self? Because sometimes people aren't.
I think many times people aren't, Lauren, but for me it was important because it's the reason that I left practicing law in a courtroom to work in television, first in news as a broadcaster, which of course I also still do, and then to be a New York housewife, right? It's representation matters. I think we know that, and as women, we really know that. And as a woman of color, a Black woman, I know it even more so. So it was so important to all of the people, the young people looking up to me, women in, I was going to say our age bracket, but I think I'm a little bit older than you beautiful young ladies.
We're all in the same.
Right. But those are the messages that I get, mostly from women, and also from incredible men as well. Also people struggling, or not struggling, just to figure out their way in the world. It is an incredible time to be alive, but it is a hard time to be coming of age and figuring things out. What do you want? Who are you? Who do you want to be with? What do you want to have? What do you want to do professionally? It's a lot. And so to do that inauthentically, I think would have been such a disservice to the viewers, to the fans, and really to myself, right? Like, part of this journey for me was a personal discovery experience. I mean, you all saw, like, I start coming out of an engagement. I, have to, figure that out. I have to figure out, where am I on this father journey of mine? It was just a lot of things going on. And where am I amongst this group of women? Which you're right, Lauren, I could have very easily faked and just acted as if, but that didn't feel good to me. I didn't feel like it would honor where we ended up as women, which was a real authentic friend dynamic that you saw in the finale, and that would have never been accomplished had I faked it in the beginning.
Right. Absolutely. You spoke when you wanted to speak. You held these women accountable when they were out of line, which happened a lot.
A lot.
But going back to your dad, have you met him yet in person?
So I have not, Emily, been able to meet him in person, and actually haven't really had much communication at all with him since that first call. I think we can all make space in our hearts and minds for how intense and dramatic it must be to get a phone call after almost 40 years that, you know, you've got this adult daughter out here in the world. And it's, you know, I'll be candid, it's been tough. It's been tough to not kind of have the fairy tale ending to that so far. That I would have wished, but I do have.
I mean, my dad's known about me for 30 years and he hasn't done much about it. So
you are so funny.
Don't feel bad.
Don't feel that bad, right?
Don't feel bad.
You know
in
what?
God's timing.
Yeah, and I still found it worthwhile to find out who he was and to make at least that initial contact. And you know, the door's always open. I'm always going to remain optimistic that eventually one day, you know, we can build that relationship, but it hasn't happened as of yet.
Well, you know, in the future, like if you're ready for it, that's your journey to tell. And I think going back to your journey on RHONY, you went through a lot. You were super open, super authentic. You recently said that it was kind of traumatizing to watch it back.
Yeah.
Why was that?
You know, it's because the moments were so intense, some of them in real time. And then I hear it's like this. I haven't given birth to a child yet, but I heard it's like childbirth where you get through it because you get through it and that's human nature, and then you forget about it because it was so awful. That's kind of how this was in that sense. It's like, gosh, that was a really hard conversation at Luann's house during our lunch at Sag Harbor. That was a really tough conversation at Ramona's apartment that night during the election. That was a really tough night at Black Shabbat, you know? And so rewatching all of that, and frankly, seeing some things for the first time, you know, when you're in a real life condition, you don't catch everything. So the rewatch, you kind of get to see some of the stuff you might have missed. And some of that was painful, quite frankly.
Watching it back, do you have a different opinion of the women? Like you said, you missed a few things. Watch it again. You guys ended in a good place, but watching it back, did that change things?
I think watching it back changed my opinion of the women. I do think it just allowed for deeper reflection, you know, which I think is cool. That happens. That needs to happen. I do believe in like sitting in the feeling, and then I think you should talk about the feeling. So, you know, I think what was hard was not talking, you know, at some points around some of the things that we were all watching play back as a cast. But I'm happy to say that some of us have started some conversations, and I think they've been helpful.
Yeah, definitely. Someone that really was, she really understood it more than the other women was Sonja. And of course Leah understands. But Sonja really tried to get Ramona and Luann to listen. She did have a couple outbursts after drinking, and a lot of the fans expressed their concern for her. I actually just saw her cabaret preview, and it was really funny.
I heard it was great. Yeah.
Where do you stand with Sonja, and what do you think about all the fans? It's kind of like a PTSD from Dorinda. Like everyone's thinking there's something really wrong here.
Listen, I adore Sonja Morgan. That's no secret. I just was talking to Sonja maybe 2 days ago after the premiere of the cabaret comedy show, and you know, we just talk. You know, I really found a kindred spirit in Sonja this season, and I hope that continues, regardless of where we all might find ourselves moving forward. Right? I care about Sonja. I think every single person that does this show cares about Sonja. I think these fans love and adore Sonja Morgan. I think we all share a common goal of what's best for Sonja. We want to see her healthy and happy. I just personally am not going to start making diagnoses or presumptions around what that looks like for her. It's just not something I'm personally comfortable with, but I support any and all efforts to give Sonja all the love and support that she needs to be the best version of herself, because we love her and that's all that matters.
How can you not love Sonja? You know,
she's literally like the most kind, sweethearted person ever. She just doesn't have a mean bone in her body. She just doesn't. Yeah, she is great. She is so loyal in that way.
Yeah, she's the best. Okay, what can you tell us, if anything, about this reunion? Because there's all these rumors. It wasn't happening because of Ramona. It is happening. I know you said it was happening last you heard. So what can you share with us?
Okay, so I'm glad to clear this up, at least from my perspective. When I spoke to Variety, I was under every reasonable impression that a reunion was happening. I can tell you that all of the rumors are false. You know, like I sitting here at whatever time we're taping it, I don't know. That's the truth. I don't know. None of my castmates know. Nobody knows. I believe we all want to do a reunion. I think we think the fans deserve a reunion. I think there's definitely things from the season that should be discussed and reflected upon, and people should have an opportunity to say how they think and feel about things. And I think only good things would come from a reunion, but I don't know the actual status. That's the truth. None of us really know the status of a RHONY reunion today.
Which is wild to me, because you guys would have already been filmed. It would have already been filmed by now. Which I get, you know, COVID, there's different circumstances. I know I'm, as a fan, just sitting here going like,
we just need some resolution because we're used to it. So it's like to not
of course.
Like
we just season. And you guys had a deep season. You went through it all, and we ended on such a fun note where a reunion really would have. We need a reunion. We do.
I think we need a reunion. I have a great dress for a reunion.
Good. Lawrence and I are going to start a petition.
Yeah, we'll start a change.org or whatever we can for Andy. Just call Andy. Hello.
Yes.
Right.
Eboni, where are you in your dating life? Because it was fun watching you kind of sit down with Sonja, with the matchmaker, who we actually have her on our show sometimes. So
I love Devin. She's the best. We've known each other for years, and I just think the world of Devin's mom. She's the best. So I know we talked about this off camera, Emily. You know, I am actively pursuing my love life at this point, which is really different for me. You know, I am not ashamed to say I am, you know, one of those women who has put everything into my career, right? Every resource, every dollar, every second of time. And, you know, I think that's why I'm blessed to say my career is better than it's ever been in my life. And it's only improving. And I'm so excited and proud of it.
You're like co-hosting The View soon, right?
Yes.
Congrats. That's amazing.
Yeah, that's a dream come true. Like literally since I was a little girl watching Barbara Walters and Star Jones and, Joy Behar and everybody at that table. This is what I've wanted for forever, just to be at the table. You know, so that'll be a dream come true. What's not a dream come true is doing all of this amazing stuff alone. You know, like I do want a partner. I do want a husband. I want someone to share this with. I do want to be a mom, you know, and I wasn't sure about that until really rather recently. If I'm being
You'd be such a good mom, Eboni. Your child would be first in its class. It would be the smartest child ever.
Emily and I, throughout the entire season, would be like, wow, how do we, and Vicky is just so well spoken, how do we get to that level? So,
yeah, like, I want to not say the F word all the time. Like,
but I do, but the other thing is, Emily, you know, I do also say that. The F word is one of the many words at our disposal as educated women, right? Like,
but when you're challenged, you don't. You are so good and controlled. When I'm challenged, I'm like, woo!
It's over the top.
It's so funny. I think it's my Virgo energy too, is that like when the block gets hot, you know, and like normal, and your knee jerk is to respond with emotion. That's actually when I shift to the cerebral part. And so now we're responding with our head and not our,
that's the right thing to do. That's what I'm working on. So I need to take like a class from you or something.
Well, yeah. Well, law school helped, honestly, Emily. I got it.
True.
Law school was very helpful for that. But No, with dating, I mean, my matchmaker is doing a phenomenal job. I can't wait to share more about this journey soon at the right time.
I feel like the next time we're going to talk, you're going to be like, so I met the perfect man. Blah, blah, blah. So like fingers crossed, all the good.
We are sending love vibes to you.
But Eboni, before we let you go, because we are running out of time, I just want to know, back to RHONY, is there any, I know you said none of the rumors that are circulating, they're all false. So does that mean next season we have no idea if coming back, who's coming back?
I think we have no idea right now, Lauren. I think we're all just basking in, y'all, we made it. You know, we made this, we completed this season. We had an amazing finale. I think everybody wants to just exhale, breathe, reflect, figure out, frankly, where we're going in life next. I mean, I'm a rookie housewife, but it's my understanding around these things that really what needs to kind of be calibrated as you think about what a next season looks like. Who's got what going on? You know, what's popping? And what stories and what relationships are right for continuation, really. Yeah. And I think, you know, everybody probably wants to let a little dust settle from this amazing but really like season and see what makes sense going forward.